I'm Luke Searveld. Welcome to another episode of Meet the Gaffer. So I had this opportunity to get a little tour behind the scenes on a Hollywood sitcom that's being shot at one of the large studios down there, and this is actually on a smaller stage but big studio complex. And I've actually never worked on one of those, so it was a lot of fun to just see how it's all laid out. And we're just going to look at the power distribution. So we'll hear from Sheila Greene in a minute.
Hi, my name is Sheila Greene. I'm a local 728 technician here in Los Angeles.
But first, I just want to give you an idea of what you're seeing. So the power comes in from the local utility, and it comes in and then gets broken down into different buses and panels.
This is the main power racks. Run H, 6x12, those are the racks. Run G, such and such. Run F, E, D, C, B, and A. Of course, everything's off.
And then this gets distributed from this large panel with single conductor 4-aught. So it's nice thick cable, copper cable with a rubber and neoprene cover, and that goes up, 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 up. It feels like it's going up to the rafters.
And see how we had the waterfall here? This is the power waterfall, powering up and going up and over, down, back into that dimmer rack.
So that goes up to the perms.
Correct.
And then
that goes up to the perms, and then we added another 100 feet.
So that all is just run very neatly up. And then this is behind the set, and then here's the set. So let's say we've got the set like this. We've got a door to the set. We've got set pieces. We've got people on that set, and they are lit. And they are lit by lights that are hung. So all the lights have to be hung because you've got multiple cameras going on a particular set, because they're done live. They're done with an audience. And so the lights are hung from rail, from bars that, pipe that are hung with rope from beams. And there's like a whole grid of beams up above, and that's what are called the perms. Now you've got the power, and the power has come up to the top here, and actually there's walkways next to where these beams are. There's walkways, and then the power comes up and over the railing up here, and then it gets laid down next to each other, lots and lots of all this cable, and you actually walk on top of all this cable that's run in long rows down the walkways. And then the power, well, you've got lights here and you've got power here. Doesn't the power just go to the lights? No, we're missing something. We're missing control. So now I'm going to erase all this, and we're going to look at it from a different perspective. Okay, so now you have to reorient your brain a little bit, and we're going to look at this same setup from above, from bird's eye view. So we've got the power coming in from the street, and then here it's on that panel breakout, and we've got our per bus, we've got our 5 outs. And then that's being run up. That's all being neatly run here. I mean, the setup has got to take some time. It's just a lot. And then that's being run up to the walkway. So we've got our walkway here, and then the stages are here. And I think they was broken up into 3. So this one has the live audience, and then this is the grid of wood beams, and from the wood beams that you hang the pipe, and from the pipe you hang the lights. So here's the walkway, and then this all comes up to the walkway and gets run along the walkway. And you'll see, you know, the 100-foot comes up here, and it gets it terminates about here, and then you add another length and run it further. And why do you have to run it further? I mean, the lights are right here.
And then we bring the cable up here, following this ugly ass snake pit. It should have been nicer, but it's not. And then when you turn around, you see the connections. It stops here. So we add more 4/0. Another 100-foot piece 4/0 will come here. And all these runs here are the 4/0 runs here. And you tie them always off, tie them off to the knee rail. And this power goes down into that dimmer hut, and each one was labeled A run, A, B, C, D, E, F.
Okay, so all this 4/0 is going to feed that room.
Yes.
We're going to run into a room here, and that's where the dimmer racks are. And so all this power gets run through a hole.
Small waterfall that goes into the dimmer hut. You should have seen on Thor. Man, that was hell. That was a hard job. Talk about waterfall. That was Niagara Falls, okay?
First, they have to go into Distro boxes that are all on the floor.
We have these spider boxes, which distributes the power to these dimmer racks.
And there are 2 different types of dimmer racks you'll see in the video.
Once the main power is into each one of these boxes, we distribute it into these racks here. These are Sacopec racks.
So in this configuration, Saco is 6 circuits. So it's 6 20-amp circuits in one, you know, joint conductor basically, and that way you can run it rather than running individual stingers. You're running it one cable, and then at the end of the cable you break it out. So you have an adapter that breaks it out to the different circuits, and then the Sacopex gets run back up to this walkway way up above the perms.
Remember I showed you the Sacopex? All of this Sacopex is powered into those racks, okay?
So all those dimmer racks are feeding the Sacopex back up here.
Correct.
And then the Saco gets distributed throughout these stages, and that's where you have the fan outs.
Now, once we have it all up here, up in the perms, we call this the perms. If you can look around and see how dirty this hot it is up here. Mm-hmm. You know, we each set will go say, okay, we need so many Sacopex in that set. We need so many here, so many here, so many there.
Because they're each 20 amps, you know, you can do a 2K on down with each of those circuits.
We just throw them over the perms. We'll say where we need it. And we just throw it over there like that. And you always go under and tie it off like this.
So you go under
yes.
the rail.
Yeah, and tie it off at the knee rail always. Never tie off here.
What kind of knots do you use?
Square knot, basic square knot.
Okay. And then that goes over the
straight down into the stage to feed the lights.
And that's where everything is on a grid that's below the perm.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. We start off like 1 through 6, you know, 7 through 12. And then we have other racks. We have Bates. This is 110 amps. These are not Sacopex.
And that Bates, they also get run up to the walkway, and then that gets distributed. There's fewer of them.
This is a 6x12 rack, okay? And this base we use because we have several 5K lights, which we use a 110 splitter, 100 amp splitter to 60. It's because a 5K runs off a 60 ampere. And then we always run spares. Okay, because if you're up high, there might be a situation where something goes out and you need a quick fix because you don't have time to come back here and do something. You just go up to the perms and you get this, pull out the bad circuit here, pop that in there, and then just say, you know, the lead that's up high, you just send the lead down to feed it. And everything should be labeled as such, okay? So you know where stuff is. Everything's always labeled by the lights, by numbers, And you can see right here, switch places with me. Look on each rack. You see how we have run F, so you know? See? Run F is these numbers. Run F, okay, we split this one up. And each run E, E. And that way you know where there's a problem socket, what rack to come to. Like say the brain's out, then you can come, you know, check the brain or check the switch if something popped or whatever.
So there's a lot of cable going on, and it takes this, you know, circuitous path where it starts at the bottom, goes up, runs along the top, goes back down, goes through, you know, all of this, and then comes back up and gets distributed. And then there's a control cable, and so all of these dimmer packs get connected with a control cable.
This is an opti splitter.
Okay.
And what we do, each one of these goes into the rack, and then we loop it. You get the main home run, which we call the home run, going all the way to the dimmer hut. And that's like maybe 200 feet, you know, whatever, how long you got to go back to the dimmer hut. But then you have your dimmer board op in his own separate room. But you see how we have the spares up here like I was showing you before? Here's our 2. You always have spare, and labeled as such, spare 2, spare 1 on the socket pick. So if you need some more, you just throw it down there.
Cool.
See over there, that's what we call the 110 to 60 amp split right here. So those 110 come up here, we split it off with a 60 ampere, and this will power up a 5K. And then we just get a 60 amp bait and put it to wherever 5K is. So
it's all about control. And if you need to add a light, you know, luckily you have some spares up there, but you know, it's wow. it's a lot of stuff going on.
This rig is pretty small.
Compared to what?
Compared to a feature film.
Okay.
Feature film, oh my God, it is a lot more cable. Waterfalls are like massive, you know. We're talking like tons and tons and tons of 4/0, you know. You better think twice if you want to get in this business and rig. Think about your back first and your legs and everything, because otherwise, you know, the thrill is gone after a couple features.
And it's all tungsten. You know, it's all pretty traditional stuff, zip lights and Fresnels and little open faces and, you know, little pony lights, like mini sky pans and larger sky pans as well. And there's like, you know, backdrops and stuff like that, but all very traditional setup. So it was fun to see.
And it was a pleasure talking with you. Peace out.
Thanks, Sheila.
Yeah.